Alright guys, welcome to tutorial number 12, and in this lesson what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you guys one of the last main concepts concerning Slick 2D, and that is how to change states. Now remember, like I said in probably one of the first tutorials, that a game is made up of many states, which is basically different views or different screens that you can play your game in. Now we only have two right here. We've been working in the menu, and we also have this play screen over here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a very simple game. We're just going to be having a button that whenever you click it, it goes to a different state. So well, obviously, if you can see, I cleaned everything out again. I don't have any variables, any code right now. If we go ahead and run our game right now, both of the states, menu and play, are just black, plain boxes right here. But what we want to do is we want to add a little bit of text into this play state, just so whenever we go there we know that we are in the play state and something did happen. So G draw string, not draw G string, that'd be wrong, and just add a little prompt that says, I don't know, something stupid. This is the play state. And just go ahead and add it a 100, 100. That should be good. And okay, so that looks pretty good. Basically, all the play state is just some text on the screen, and just add something there so you know that whenever you go to the play state, it says something. So now we're going to be getting to the good part and learning actually how to change states. So by default, as soon as your game loads, the first state that pops up is the menu state. Now that's what we want. But in this state, let's go ahead and add a little button. And by a button, I pretty much mean just an oval with some text above it. So G fill oval, probably don't want a caps lock on the G fill oval. And okay, what am I gonna do? Let's put it like 75, 100, 100, 100. Alright, so we got a perfectly round circle that will be our button, and it's at 75 over, 100 down. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to add a little string of text right above it. So G draw string, and I will make this say play now. So whenever we click this button, it's going to take us to the play screen. So that's why I said play now above it. I could just wrote play. Probably would have made sense, but you know, whatever. 80 and 70. So now what we have is a string of text that appears above a little circle. And what we want to do is have it so whenever you click that circle, it takes you to the play screen or the play state. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing we need is to hop over in our input, or excuse me, our update, getting ahead of myself, in access that input information again. So input equals GC get input, and what this is going to do is store all of the input from the keyboard and the mouse. Now we are really only concerned with the mouse input because we aren't using the keyboard in this example. It's just whenever they click that button, that's when I want to take them to the other state. So in order to make sure that they're clicking inside the area or on the circle, we need to track the mouse coordinates. So int xpos equals, which stands for the x position of the mouse, equals mouse get x, and int y position equals mouse get y, which tracks the y coordinates of the mouse. So now what we can do is, let me think what I want to do. Well, I guess we don't need any other fancy stuff. Let's just go ahead and stick with the demonstration. Go ahead and throw everything in an if statement. Now what this if statement is going to do is it's going to say, okay, if your x position of the mouse is inside the circle and your y position of the mouse is inside the circle, then go ahead and take them to another state. So I'm actually going to add two sub tests in here and put an and in between. So if x position is greater than 75 and x position is less than 175, and we did this because remember we started at 75, so that's the leftmost area, and the rightmost is just 100 more than that. So greater than 75 but less than 175. And the Y position, this is where it gets a little tricky and you need to do a little bit of quick math, is greater than 160 and the Y position is less than, let me think, so that would be 260. And I'm just going to format this so you guys can see it a little bit better. And now you guys are probably saying, you know what? Okay, I understand, 75, 175 because the circle starts at 75. And, well, let me go ahead and show you guys. I can probably run this right now. It'll pop up. So the circle starts at 75 right here. And if you add another 100 to it, because that's the width of the circle, it would be 75 and the 175 just like this. But check it out, for the Y position, I put it 100 down and also 100 height. But whenever I checked it, I did 160, 260. And that is because, remember, the coordinate system for these libraries goes from the bottom up. So since my screen, my little game right here, is, I think it's like 640 by 360, I know it's 360, then that would mean 160 and 260. 100 because that's the height of the circle. And yours is probably going to be different, so never mind that. Just go ahead and um, just figure it out. And someone sent me something. Let me just go ahead and check my phone real quick. Ooh, an email from eBay. They sent me one of the 200 emails of the day. Alright, so now what we can do is, this is the bit of code that's going to run whenever they have their mouse inside the circle. But we don't want to take them to the state when they put their mouse inside the circle. What we want to do is, we want to check furthermore if you're inside the circle and you click that button down. If you just go ahead and take them to, the play state whenever they enter the circle, as soon as their mouse hovers over, it's going to take them to the state and they're going to be like, whoa, dude, I didn't even click anything yet. What the heck? So that's why we need a further check to make sure that they click the button. So if input is mouse button down 0, now let me go ahead and run this, finish this code, and then I'll show you guys, talk you guys through it. SVG enter state ID 1. Okay, so first let's go ahead and take a look at this if statement right here. So what is mouse button down means is it checks to see if they clicked a mouse button basically. So why did I throw 0 in here as the parameter? Well, you know how you have a bunch of different buttons on your mouse, left click, right click, scroll wheel. 0 means left click, which is basically what people normally do. 1 is right click, so that's why you need 0 or 1. So that's what this check does. Basically says if you left click inside the circle, then take you to a new state. So what this does right here is state-based game, enter state 1, which basically means take you to a new state or new screen. Now remember, every state has an ID number, and if we look at game, menu is 0, which is the one we're on by default, and play is 1. So the ID of play, which we want to go to, is 1. So just pass in whatever state you want to go to ID in the enter state method. So now hopefully if we go ahead and run this, and it says already running because I already have it running, go ahead and run it again. Now by default, check it out, we're in the menu state right now, so this would be like the main menu of the game. So now I go ahead and enter the area and click, and check it out, it says this is the play state. We are now in the play area, the play screen. We can now do our fun playing the game crap. So again, a couple of things I want to point out is when you click outside the circle, can you hear me clicking now? It's not doing anything, and well, that's basically it. So that's why we needed another check to make sure we're inside the circle, and whenever we click it, it takes us to the new state, the new view. So anyways, you now know how to, add images on the screen, move stuff around, create text, shapes, titles, mouse input, keyboard input, change states. You guys pretty much know the concepts of how to create a very simple game using Slick 2D. So I'm actually going to take a break, create a huge game, and then I'm going to come back to you guys when it's all finished, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to create an awesome game with all the pieces put together, and it's going to be pretty freaking sweet. So thank you guys for watching, and eventually what we're going to be doing is connecting this online, networking, so you can play with friends. So thank you guys for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.